That title, am I right? It's not clickbait, but I do want to cover a few things before I get into it. First of all, I want to make it clear that when I stopped being a Christian, I didn't really have any hate or even bad thoughts about Christianity or God himself. I walked away for many reasons, and I can go deeper into those reasons if you want in another video. But basically, I just came to the conclusion that either God didn't exist or that if he did, he just wasn't very good. But I didn't think I was in a toxic relationship. I didn't think being a Christian was bad for me. I just didn't believe anymore, and it didn't feel right to keep pretending like I did, so I just left. I walked away. But I felt like being in a relationship with God had been an overall positive experience in my life. I left because I didn't believe anymore, but I was devastated because I loved God with all my heart. He was literally my everything. Living was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was very painful. But recently I found, okay, not to be too over dramatic, but let me just share with you some warning signs that you're in an abusive relationship. Number 1, they humiliate you or embarrass you. 2, constant put downs. 3, hypercriticism, you're criticized for everything. 3, refusing to communicate, that's a very big one. Number 5, ignoring you or excluding you. 6, extramarital affairs, that one doesn't quite fit with what we're talking about. And number 7, extremely jealous of your time, relationships, or aspirations. It literally says in the Bible that God is a jealous God. And he happens to be very, very jealous. 8, extreme moodiness. That kind of tracks. He did get so angry one time that he sort of drowned pretty much the entire world except for one family and 2 of every animal. Like, what did the animals ever do to him? Number 9, they try to control your choices and every aspect of your life. 10, they manipulate your emotions and make you feel guilty. 11, they make everything your fault. 12, isolate you from your friends and family. 13, they instill fear, uneasiness, or are intimidating. 14, they punish you or retaliate for the time you spend away from them. I mean, I was gonna make this video about just my own personal experience, but holy crap, like, everything fits. I'm not here to tell you that you're in an abusive relationship with God. That's not for me to decide. I'm just saying that I definitely was. That's what my life was. This is what opened my eyes. This little shiny green book. Well, not the journal itself, the contents inside of it. When I read it, when you're in an abusive relationship, you don't really realize it when you're in it. It's only when you have a little distance and you can look back from that distance that you can actually see the toxicity for what it really is. This journal was my window. This was how I was able to look back to how I was feeling on the inside when I was a Christian. It felt normal at the time. That's the craziest part, how normal it felt. It sickens me that it felt normal. Let me just read some of it to you. I transcribed some of it to my phone because it's a little bit hard to read my writing. When I wrote it, I write very small. That doesn't matter. This comes from my heart when I was still a Christian. This is what I wrote. Here we go. I feel like I've taken advantage of God's forgiveness, but without it, I'd be completely lost. My life would be meaningless. I'd be going literally nowhere except for age, and decay. I know I deserve all the consequences. Here I start talking to God one-on-one. Before I was like just writing my thoughts. Now I'm writing literally to God. I want you to be the reason I wake up, not the shame that wakes me up. I know I am forgiven. I know your grace is enough, but I still can't help but feel like garbage, like a fraud. 1 hour I'm proclaiming my love for you, and the next I am hurting you. I am betraying you. I know it hurts you more than it hurts me, and that makes it worse because I'm the one who deserves to suffer. I deserve hell. I deserve to be deserted, abandoned, and alone. I need you more than ever. Please don't give me what I deserve. Please don't let me perish for my stupidity, for my weakness. I take full responsibility. Your grace is the only thing that makes me feel like there is still hope for me. Please, never take it away from me. I'm actually embarrassed to share that, but it just blew my mind reading it. I don't recognize this person. It makes me angry just reading it. That's how the almighty, all-loving God made me feel. For context, I wrote those journal entries after I masturbated. If that makes any difference, it shouldn't. Let me repeat that. I felt like complete garbage and like I deserved to go to hell because I relieved myself of a God-given urge. Because God created me, right? He created humanity with those urges. He could have not given us those urges. He also allowed my grandmother's brother to sexually abuse me, which gave me a lot of trust issues growing up and extreme shyness when I am in front of the opposite sex. It's so bad that I've been single for almost 10 years. I know, with this face? Are you kidding me? Also, I'm not supposed to have sex until I'm married. And those biological urges, no, God hasn't made those go to sleep. They're very much awake. But I am a sinner, tainted. I deserve to be tortured in hell for eternity because I masturbate. Hell no! I don't deserve hell. You don't deserve hell. I know my situation is very extreme, but I also believe that there are a lot of Christians who are in an abusive relationship with God. Christians are taught that God is everything, that without Him, we are nothing. We were taught that we are all sinners and that we all deserve the wrath of God. That it is only by His glorious, amazing grace that we are saved. Bullshit. I never curse, but bullshit. If we're all tainted, that's a manufacturer's error. If we're all bad, then that's how we were made. If we are to believe the Bible, then God created us and no one knows us better than He does, especially our weaknesses. Why would God put a very tempting tree in the middle of paradise that Adam and Eve were not supposed to eat from? Why would He allow the freaking devil, he knows how smart the devil is, why would He allow that freaking guy, monster thing, to persuade them into eating from it? Because God wanted them to eat it, so that He would have something over them, so that they would feel guilty for hurting Him, for betraying Him, so that they feel like they owe something to Him. That's manipulation 101. What an abuser does is that they tear you down. They make you feel the lowest of low and like they're the only ones who can pick you up and love you. An abuser doesn't want you to know that you don't really need them. They want you to think that you can only be strong with them, because of them. An abuser wants to control your life, but they want to make you think that they're doing it for your own good. Because they want to make you believe that they know better. They want you to feel like they're superior, like you are inferior. They want you to completely depend on them, but they don't even respect you. Do you know how many times the Bible refers to us humans as sheep? If you didn't know, sheep are known to be among some of the dumbest animals living. If you didn't know, just saying. I know this is gonna be my most hated video ever, but it just sickens me. It sickens me that so many people live in an abusive relationship and don't even realize it. It sickens me so much that I lived it and it felt normal. Did you know that after a long struggle with a chronic illness, I had to get a surgery to have my colon removed. Did you know that I thought that was a punishment from God because I had told him I would stop masturbating but continued to do it? Did you know that I thought it was a fair and deserved punishment and that I actually thanked God because he didn't make my punishment worse? Well, my eyes are wide open now and I am done trying to walk around eggshells on the topic of religion. I do believe religion has had a positive effect on many people, especially those who have lost all hope and cling to religion for survival. Hey, whatever you need to survive, do it. Good for you, no judgment here. But I also believe that many people have a very toxic relationship with God and their religion. If that's your situation, I just want you to know it's okay to leave. It's fine. When I left, I felt completely lost and like my life had absolutely no purpose. But I found the strength that I thought God was giving me inside of myself. I am a better person than I was. You don't need religion to be a good person. I don't feel lost anymore. I found happiness inside of myself and I have never loved myself more than I do now. I'm happy and I decided what my own purpose in life was. And actually it's much better than believing God had a purpose for me when he would never detail it out for me. I would have to just guess and just hope that he had everything in control because I never knew what was going on. I'm not here to tell you to leave religion. I'm not even here to tell you that it's bad for you. I'm here to simply say that it was bad for me. And that being away from it has been amazing for my mental health and that I've never been happier.